Hello, television family. We're back. Another week is upon us. It is the 23rd day of February, 2026. I am Dan Kuntz. Happy Monday. Overcast. It is 34 degrees. Today and tomorrow, early morning snow gives way to afternoon rain as we have a gradual warming trend. And then things are going to be pretty quiet once we get to Wednesday. But the passes right now, we're getting hammered right out of the box, I'll tell you right now. Chains are required on US 2 Stevens and I-90 Snoqualmie Pass. Traction tires are advised on Blewett. They're all getting snow, and they're going to get snow for most of the morning before it tapers off later on this afternoon, which is fine because they need the snow. They're way behind on the snowpack. All in all, outside of today and tomorrow, where things are going to be a little active the rest of the week and the rest of the month, keep in mind this is the end of February now, things are going to be pretty quiet. We'll have some news. We have lots of sports. Let you know how all the high school basketball teams did over the weekend, how many punched their tickets to state. MAC Classic 37, boys swim and dive, Mariner baseball, Cactus League, games don't count, but who cares? And how the Wild did over the weekend. A lot of sports to touch on. Mike Malmin's got an opinion. If Mike Malmin lives in your neighborhood, does that by default make it a bad neighborhood? Mike will talk about that. And this Thursday at the local Event Center at the Pybus Public Market, they're handing out the Community Impact Awards. The Wenatchee World is doing those honors, our sister company, if you will. Two long-form interviews for a couple of award winners. Jerrilea Crawford, the mayor of East Wenatchee, is going to get the Public Life and Leadership Award on Thursday night. And our friend Mike Malmin of Serve Wenatchee Valley, the Chief Hope Officer, he's going to get the Progress Award. Both of those conversations with Jerrilea and Mike. In the back half of the program, 2 minutes after the hour, I'm doing this. That's the international sign of, let's see what we're looking like out there. Boy, it looks better than it did about 5 minutes ago. We go through the cameras about 10 minutes before we go on the air to find out which ones we're going to use. And by we, I mean Malcolm. And there is the Wenatchee Valley. We are going to see some rain as opposed to snow later on today. There's an 80% chance of rain because we're going to warm up. The snow level is going to go down as the day progresses, but it's also going to warm up enough, so we probably won't have any snow here in the big city. It was 41, by the way, yesterday, 37 on Saturday. From Hay Canyon, looking back towards the Wenatchee Valley, the low clouds and fog hanging around in some pockets. Days are getting considerably longer now. We're going to be 3 minutes and 19 seconds longer than we were yesterday. Sunrise this morning was at 6:52, about 11 minutes ago. Sunset tonight, 5:37. Stamen Flats, haven't used this camera in a long time. There's the Columbia River. Stamen Flats just about on that spot up 97A on your way up to Chelan, where you have to make up your mind whether you're going to keep going on 97A and through the Knaps Hill Tunnel, or if you're going to take the Navarre Coulee and pop yourself out at the state park. There's the Columbia River. Not really flowing because it's a reservoir now. And there is Billy Goat. That cloud is about 7,300 feet in elevation because that camera is about 7,300 feet in elevation. So there is the Billy Goat camera up there. Let me check in with Brewster is at 36 degrees, one of the warm spots right now. And some pockets are getting some light rain, especially out in the Columbia Basin. Right now, no precipitation here. But lots in the mountains. Here's something, just a little reminder, going to snow quite a bit through about noon or 1 o'clock. Again, right now, chains are required on Stevens and chains are required on I-90. Traction tires are advised on Blewett Pass. If you can wait till, say, middle of the afternoon, probably be a good idea. Once the snow stops, the plows can get out there and get the job done. But right now, through Tuesday, they're going to get quite a bit of snow. Snow this morning, tapers off this afternoon. Snow returns tonight in the mountain passes before it again tapers off on Tuesday afternoon. From Colonial Vista Senior Living in Wenatchee, where comfort, care, and community come together. We could see a stray snowflake this morning, and then it switches over to rain. The snow level is going to hover right around 3,000 feet for most of the day today, and a high of 44. And again, afternoon rain, about an 80% chance of that. Chance of precipitation tonight's at 30%. Snow level is going to go down to 1,600 feet, but the first wave that's bringing us the moisture today, going to lose a little energy. We'll dip down to 33. And then, kind of like today, tomorrow, some early morning snow possible, and then it switches over to rain. The snow level tomorrow morning is going to start out at 1,100 feet. By the afternoon, it'll be about 2,000 feet. We'll get up to about 41. And then things get pretty quiet After a slight chance of rain Tuesday night, sunshine for the most part Wednesday and a high of 45. Clouds and sun back and forth Thursday with a high of 48. Partly sunny Friday, high of 46. Sunshine Saturday, 43. Sunshine Sunday, 45. Normal high, 44. So our normal high temperatures are going to be just about normal. So is the overnight lows, for that matter. Snow in the upper elevations, rain down here. That's your forecast in a nutshell. The news is 2 minutes away. You're watching a Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCWF channel.
Hi, I'm Amanda Walden with A. Walden Insurance Group. Medicare can be overwhelming, but you don't have to figure it out alone. I've been helping people understand their Medicare options for over a decade. Medicare isn't a one-size-fits-all. I'll help you understand your coverage options so you can feel confident in your decisions. Let's find the right Medicare plan for you. Call me today or come and see me at my office located on South Chelan Avenue in Wenatchee between the YMCA and the Social Security office. I look forward to meeting you soon.
Welcome to Mountain Chick Floral, your go-to flower and plant shop in downtown Wenatchee. Explore their wide variety of unusual and fun plants. And when you buy a plant in a container, they'll pot it up for you absolutely free. Birthday or weddings, they'll create the perfect floral arrangement for you. Brighten up your office with fresh blooms delivered to your door or business. Ask about floral subscriptions. Visit Mountain Chick Floral today, where every occasion is a reason to celebrate with flowers.
Hi folks, welcome to Save Mart. How can we help you today?
We're looking for a recliner.
Okay, right this way. Go ahead and move this chase on the other side. We can lift this up. Lifetime warranty.
Great, I want that one. I would like that one.
That's a great choice.
And I want this one as well.
Okay.
And I definitely want this one.
You'll find it at Save Mart. Full service at a low, low price.
Our community is full of people doing incredible work. Join us for the Community Impact Awards, an inspiring evening honoring the people, organizations, and businesses whose leadership and service make our community stronger. It's on Thursday, February 26th at the Pybus Local-Tel Event Center in Wenatchee. There'll be light appetizers and beverages. The award ceremony itself begins at 5:30. Come connect, celebrate, and support the positive impact happening all around us. Reserve your tickets today.
Pretty cloudy, 34 degrees. Sun's taking the day off. Afternoon rain, morning snow Tuesday, morning snow, followed by afternoon rain. So Monday and Tuesday are going to be twins, and then pretty good dose of sunshine starting Wednesday. It's 8 minutes after the hour. Grant County authorities have now released the names of the 5 deputies who fatally shot a Moses Lake man 1 week ago. 33-year-old Aaron J. Amon shot and killed after emerging from inside a plastic water tank on a rural property northeast of Moses Lake. This happened 1 week ago. On Friday, the sheriff's office issued a video that shows deputies negotiating with Amon for about 3 minutes before he finally came out of the tank holding what police say was a rifle. He appeared to ignore commands to drop the firearm. The deputies then opened fire. Moses Lake police officers were also on the scene, but they did not fire their weapons. The sheriff's office initially said Amon leveled his firearm at the officers. You can't clearly make that out on the video. All 5 sheriff deputies who have law enforcement careers ranging from 2 to 11 years, they've all been placed on administrative leave while the shooting is investigated, and the incident is being investigated by the Columbia Basin Investigative Team. Douglas County PUD commissioners declared a maintenance emergency at the renewable hydrogen production facility out in Baker Flats. They did this on Tuesday. And they also authorized General Manager Gary Ivory to negotiate new contracts for its hydrogen electrolyzer system. Accelera, which is a subsidiary of Cummins Incorporated, failed to deliver on its $9.6 million contract to design and manufacture the electrolyzer. The utility began construction of the hydrogen plant in 2021. They cut the ribbon last October. Hydrogen has already been produced there in small quantities, but once fully online, the state's first green hydrogen production plant will make up to 2 tons of gas per day for consumer and industrial purposes. The project broke ground in 2019. A Wenatchee man was sentenced last week to diversionary mental health programs in lieu of jail after he pled guilty to charges of arson and reckless burning. The 47-year-old defendant was homeless last September when he set fire to shrubbery surrounding the Wenatchee subway shop and the nearby Travelodge motel. He also lit 5 other fires in nearby dumpsters and garbage cans, all of those fires extinguished by the Wenatchee Valley Fire Department. The man was arrested that same day, admitted to the crimes. His plea in Chelan County Court allows him to enter mental health treatment and pay more than $1,500 for the damages done to the motel fence. Superior Court Judge Kristen Ferreira ruled that if he meets all the plea conditions over the next year, he will not face further jail time. A 19-year-old Kashmir man is accused of breaking a vehicle window outside the main community park. Bystanders reported the man damaging vehicles in the parking lot of Riverside Park at about 10:30 in the evening on Wednesday. Chelan County Sheriff's deputies say he damaged 2 vehicles, cracked the windshield of one, scraped another with a rock, apparently while suffering an apparent mental health crisis. The arrested man was booked on suspicion of third-degree malicious mischief. Deputies are asking anybody whose vehicle was in the area to make a report if they notice damage to their car. The Grand County PUD commissioners decided to preserve the Crescent Bar Golf Course as it is, choosing the least expensive option for redevelopment. The vote on Tuesday means PUD staff will not propose changes to the golf course in the next 12-year Recreation Resource Management Plan, which has to be submitted for federal approval next year. The utility district loses about $290,000 each year on the golf course located on the resort island on the Columbia River. Redevelopment proposals to create more trails, wildlife zones, and other attractions that would run anywhere from $12.5 million to $28.4 million. Comparatively, it would cost just about $3 million to maintain the golf course if the PUD moves forward to replace the aging irrigation system. And the U.S. Forest Service is issuing $182 million in retroactive secure rural school payments after the federal program lapsed for a couple of years. The program provides money to counties for schools, road maintenance, and other services generated by timber production or grazing on land owned by the Forest Service. The program expired in 2023, and without congressional reauthorization, the Forest Service was required to lower the SRS payments to states, which affected Chelan County and its schools. Wenatchee was the school district most impacted by the cuts. They lost about $276,000, while the distribution to the county's roads and natural resources budgets decreased by over $539,000. Congress reauthorized the program at the end of last year. The retroactive payments are for the 2024 fiscal year. That's the news on this Monday. The weekend's over. It's back to work for our crew. Thank goodness they know what they're doing. They do. We can prove it to you by watching the news, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 10 o'clock tonight, 5, 6, and 10, the NCW Life Evening News on television. Or as we like to say in the business, television. It's also going to be on our YouTube page right around 5 o'clock for those of you who are unplugged. We're on Roku, we're on Amazon Fire, we're on Apple TV+. We stream. Our email address for news tips, news@ncwlife.com. We'd love to hear from you. Going to take a break and fill your head full of sports, a lot of it. 2 minutes away. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
We've all dreamt of moving somewhere new. But what are home prices like? How are the schools? What are the state income taxes? And how's the weather? For all your questions, the Coldwell Banker Move Meter has answers. It's the only tool that lets you compare cities by cost and quality of living, so you can get a better idea of what your dream looks like and start making it come true. The Move Meter, only from Coldwell Banker. Live well with Coldwell.
Between juggling groceries, preparing meals, and lending a helping hand, you're a hero without a cape. But who's there to support you? Aging and Adult Care honors caregivers like you, the relatives, friends, and neighbors, helping loved ones remain safely at home. Aging and Adult Care offers chore services, respite, personal care, and more. Serving Chelan, Douglas, Grant, Lincoln, Adams, and Okanagan counties, call Aging and Adult Care at 1-800-572-4459 for caregiver support.
Highlander Golf Course and Grill, your place for fun, food, and friends. Happy hour every day, 2 to 7. Try their brand new menu and famous prime rib every Saturday night. Planning a celebration? Book your holiday party, wedding, or private event, even in their exclusive simulator rooms. Highlander Golf Course and Grill, where every day is a celebration. Visit today.
16 minutes after the hour in sports, the Mariners played their first 3 Cactus League games over the weekend. They didn't count, but played pretty good. Took 2 of 3 on Friday. They dispatched the Padres. The final there was 7-4. Giants got the better of them, doubling up the Mariners on Saturday. Yesterday, Mariners crushed the Reds 14-8. They take on the Dodgers at 12:05 at Camelback Mountain. That will not be either streamed or shown on TV. Women's college basketball from over the weekend. Gonzaga won. The other teams did not. Gonzaga knocked off Pacific, but Wazoo. It's been a tough year for the Lady Cougars. They lost to Oregon State, and the Huskies lost at the last second to Nebraska yesterday, 66-65. Men's college basketball schedule, same deal. Gonzaga won, Huskies and Cougars lost. Number 11 Gonzaga snuck by Pacific. Huskies lost to Maryland on the road, and Wazoo got clobbered by St. Mary's. Eastmont Lady Wildcats had one shot at state over the weekend in Yakima on Saturday. Yakima, of course, the gateway to Wapato. Couldn't pull it off. Eisenhower knocks off the Lady Wildcats, and so Eastmont's girls basketball season came to an end. So did the Moses Lake boys. Had one chance to state, and Sunnyside beat them big time in Moses Lake, 69-51. Chelan's heading to state, though, in the 1A bracket, and they did it by knocking off Lakeside out of 9 Mile Falls on Saturday in a crossover game. The final there was 70-58. In the girls District 5 2B tournament, congratulations to the Brewster Lady Bears. They are the champions. They're on their way to state. They beat Clay Elm 62-47. Lake Roosevelt punched their ticket to state. No problems with Mabton there. And Okanagan held on and beat White Swan 47-38. All 3 of those teams heading to state. In the boys District 5 2B tournament, Okanagan's heading to state. Close one with Tri-Cities Prep, but they beat them by 2, 50-48. Liberty Bell rolled over Warden by 20. So Liberty Bell also on their way to the state 2B boys tournament. In the 1B tournament, Waterville-Mansfield, the Shockers are the champions of the 1B tournament at Wenatchee High School. Over the weekend, they beat Pateras 58-51 to punch their ticket to the state tournament, as did Moses Lake Christian. They're on their way to state after beating Wilson Creek 42-36. In the boys District 5 1B tournament, Moses Lake Christian wins the championship by beating Orville 55-29. Antioch, they're on their way to state with a 45-36 victory over Wilson Creek. Mac Classic 37 at the Tacoma Dome. A lot of wrestlers did really good. Here's the girls champions. Congratulations to Adeline Sanchez from Ephrata, state champion at 155 pounds. At 130 pounds, Lahali Michael of Omak is the state champion. And at 145 at the Liberty Bell, Clara Ramsey George. Nicely done, ladies. And the other local lady wrestlers who finished 4th or better, there they are, including Bobby Joe Dick out of Omak, 2nd at 170. Kinsley Christoph of Omak, 3rd at 135 in the 190-pound weight category. Isabella Chapa of Omak took 3rd. Eastmont's Alana Dixon took 4th at 115 pounds. And Victoria Black out of Kashmir finished 3rd at 120. That was the girls. Lots of state champions in the boys. Take a look at this rather impressive list. State champions all. Chance Novak out of Kashmir, Mac Pell out of Kashmir, Chubb Plank out of Tenasket, a couple of Lake Roosevelt wrestlers winning state championships, Colin Chrisman and Caden Chrisman, the Chrisman brothers, and Liberty Bell had 3 individual state champions in Javier Lopez Velasco, Ricardo Lara, and Yolo Paz. As far as the other wrestlers finishing in the top 5 or better from our area, Kashmir had a very good weekend. at the Tacoma Dome. Marshall Pell out of Kashmir finished second at 132 pounds. At 285 pounds, Ulysses Betancourt finished runner-up. In third place in the 190-pound category, Gray Jacobson from Kashmir. Cheyenne's Sebastian Cisneros finished second at 138 pounds. Eastmont's Daxton Dixon finished fifth at 175 pounds. And Michael Maukia of Wenatchee finished fifth at 165 pounds. As far as the team scores are concerned, in the combined 1B, 2B tournament, Tenasket takes second. The Kashmir Bulldogs finished third in the state as a team in 1A. Liberty Bell took fourth in the combined 1B, 2B. In the combined 1B, 2B, Lake Roosevelt fifth. So Tenasket, Liberty Bell, and Lake Roosevelt represented themselves very well in the combined 1B, 2B, and the Moses Lake boys finished sixth. As far as the girls are concerned, Omak finished third in the combined 1B, 2B, 1A bracket, and Tenasket finished sixth. At the King County Aquatic Center in Federal Way, how the local swimmers do? Well, a state champion took home a medal. Congratulations to Jordan Davison of Eastmont. He finished first in the adaptive 50-yard freestyle. Sam Hobson from Eastmont, second in the 50-yard freestyle. He's an underclassman. He'll be back next year. Aiden Grimsby of Wenatchee finished third in the 100-yard freestyle, and Wenatchee's 200-yard free relay team finished fifth at the state championships. Pretty tough weekend for the Wenatchee Wild. It looked pretty good. They should have saved some of the goals that they scored up at Victoria on Friday. They rolled over the Royals 6-1, but then they only managed one measly little goal on Saturday. Victoria beat them 3-1. Wenatchee is at Kelowna this Friday at 6:05, and they are home on Saturday. They only have 4 more home games to go. That's it. And that's sports at 22 minutes after the hour. It's National Dog Biscuit Day today. You can celebrate National Tile Day, the stuff that you stick on, you know, your bathroom floor or whatever you want to do. Curling is Cool Day. I watched a little curling during the Olympics. National Play Tennis Day. It's the Emperor's birthday in Japan, so happy birthday to the Emperor. But no, today, one of my favorite foods, banana bread. It's National Banana Bread Day today. Bananas didn't really have wholesale acceptance in this country till after the Civil War, and then we've been eating bananas ever since. Banana bread dates to about the 1930s, not very easy to make until they came out with baking powder and baking soda, because that made it considerably easier, and then banana bread recipes started showing up in textbooks everywhere. I like my banana bread with walnuts, occasionally with almonds as well. Banana bread is a quick bread because it uses yeast. It does not use yeast, it uses baking powder. Fairly easy to make. So if you're into banana bread, and I'm into banana bread, and nothing beats warm banana bread right out of the oven with lots of butter and a cup of tea. Banana bread is comfort food. I want some right now. 23 minutes after the hour, happy 121st birthday to Rotary International, one of the largest service clubs known anywhere. It was on the state in 1905. The Paul Harris, an attorney in Chicago, got together with 3 other businessmen. They had lunch and they said, you know, we're doing pretty good here. We're making some pretty good dough. We love Chicago. What do you say we pay it forward and form a service club to help out just general people? Thus was born Rotary. It's the first service club in the world. It was founded on the state in Chicago in 1905. There are about 46,000 Rotaries worldwide, about 1.5 million members. You got your Lions, and you got your Kiwanis, you got all these service clubs out there, but Rotary gets the distinction of being the first on the state in Chicago in 1905. 81 years ago today, one of the most famous war pictures ever taken, Joe Rosenthal of the Associated Press took that photo. The Battle of Iwo Jima. 5 United States Marines reached the top of Mount Suribachi on the island, and they raised the American flag. They actually did it twice. There were 2 flag raisings that day. The first one, nobody bothered to get pictures of it. So about an hour later, they did it again so they could actually take pictures and take the film. The 5 Marines were Michael Strank, who was killed 6 days later at the age of 25. Harlan Block was killed 6 days later at the age of 20. Franklin Sousley was killed 27 days later. He was only 19. and the other 6 survived the war and went home. Harold Schultz, who worked as a mail sorter for the Postal Service in Los Angeles, he died in 1995 at the age of 70. Harold Keller became the fire chief of the Brooklyn, Iowa Fire Department. He died in 1979 at the age of 57. And Ira Hayes, an American Indian from Arizona who drank himself to death at the age of 32 in 1955. The 6 Marines raised the flag on this date in 1945. Of course, now it's the model for the United States Marine Memorial in close to our nation's capital. This record was broken during the Olympics, but it stood for a long time, nearly 46 years. It was on this date in 1980 when speed skater Eric Heiden made history, becomes the first individual in Winter Olympics history to win 5 gold medals at a single Olympics. And when he took gold in the 10,000-meter race, he was in 5 speed skating races, all 5 disciplines, and he won all 5 of them. In fact, he single-handedly won more gold medals than every nation there at Lake Placid, except for the Soviet Union and East Germany. And if you follow the Winter Olympics, of course, in Northern Italy, you know that the Norwegian cross-country skier Johannes Hestad Klobo is now the record holder. He entered 6 cross-country races over the Olympics over the last 2.5 weeks and won all 6 of them. He got 6 gold medals, breaking Eric's Heiden record, which was set on this date 46 years ago today. Birthdays. If you've ever seen a movie, the odds are pretty good you've seen a movie directed by this guy. You may not know who he is. Norman Torlog. Born in the state in 1899, he became known as the king of the quickies. He directed 180 films over a 50-year career, and his reputation in Hollywood was he'll bring your movie in on time and on budget. And he was a very good, very popular director in the early part of his career, but by the 60s, he was doing Elvis movies. In fact, he directed 8 Elvis films, including the last 3 films he ever directed, Speedway, Double Trouble, and Live a Little, Love a Little. Those 3 movies, Norman Torlog was legally blind. He couldn't see, and he was directing Elvis movies, which probably explains why those movies are considered really, really bad. Norman Torlog, born in the state in 1899. Tom Osborne, head coach of the Nebraska Cornhuskers from 1973 to 1997, their football team. 255 wins, 13 conference championships, 3 national championships. Then he served as a Republican in Congress for 3 terms about 25 years ago. Tom Osborne is 89 years old today. And Aziz Ansari celebrates birthday number 43. Tom Halverford, of course, on the NBC series Parks and Rec, and then as the creator and star of Master of None on the Netflix series. Aziz is only 43. He's got a long career ahead of him. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. New logo, same great service. Got to change things up every once in a while. So there's their brand new logo. Everything else stays the same. Your first phone call, if your HVAC system goes on the fritz, is to Alpine Air. Or if you just need a new one, they'll take care of you. For Heat and Air, call Alpine Air. Mike Minotti's got an opinion about his neighborhood. And then 2 of the people who are going to get really nice plaques on Thursday night at the local Event Center at the Pybus Public Market as the Wenatchee World hands out their Community Impact Awards. The Mayor of East Wenatchee, Jerrilea Crawford, is going to get the Public Life and Leadership Award, and Mike Malmin and his fine organization, Serve Wenatchee Valley, will get the Progress Award. You're going to meet both of them. You already know them, but we're going to have some interviews with them when we come back. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
NCW Life Channel is your local TV station. We believe in being the spotlight and mirror to the communities we serve in North Central Washington. Programming on NCW Life would not be possible without our sponsors. Special thanks to our platinum sponsor, Alpine Air. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air.
Are you dealing with a pest or weed issue and you just don't know what to do?
We use the best pest control methods approved for areas with kids and pets.
Whether it's rats, mice, ants, or spiders,
or something else altogether.
We provide the coaching and solutions you're looking for.
And you can know that your dollars are supporting a local, family-owned and operated business.
Allow us to help you get back to living healthy and pest-free. Harvest Valley Pest Control.
For over 35 years, the Sangster family has been not only representing GMC, but the entire community.
As one of the few family-owned dealerships in Washington, you can count on our personal integrity, which has spanned over 3 generations, to ensure your satisfaction.
Sangster Motors stands behind everything we sell, from GMC professional-grade products and service from a professional-grade dealership.
Remember, caring about your family is what brings you back to ours.
When your heating or cooling system is giving you trouble, call the Diagnostic Doctor from Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning.
Here's the culprit right here.
All joking aside, when you call Dick's, you're calling 35 years of experience at customer service right here in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's strongly believes in repairing before replacing, and they service all major brands of HVAC units.
I'm Jen Mueller. Watch for my show, I Cook, You Measure on NCW Life. It's part cooking instruction, part entertainment, and all about connecting over food and wine with your favorite Northwest athletes.
Watch I Cook, You Measure with Jen Mueller Mondays at 1, Wednesdays at 2, Fridays at 11 a.m., and Saturday and Sundays at 10:30 p.m. right here on the NCW Life channel.
Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. Now, the area of town I live in is an older area and has narrow streets, okay? So when people are parked on both sides of the streets, if 2 cars opposing each other, yeah, they can barely pass, but it's typical for somebody to pull over into, you know, an empty spot so the other person can pass by. Now, when someone does that for me, I always acknowledge them and wave. But when I do it, people don't acknowledge me and wave. No, what I'm saying is this. If someone shows you an act of kindness such as this, acknowledge it. How can we become a better, kinder society if acts of kindness are ignored? So, if you see me coming and I pull over to the side of the road to let you go by, just give me a little smile and wave, okay? That'll make me feel better about myself, and I won't feel so persecuted. All right, this is Mike Mad Dog McNaughty, and that's my opinion.
It's time for BC Outdoor Sport Fishing TV, Season 16, with your host, Mike Mitchell.
Kitchen that makes mouths water and jaws drop. A bedroom from a dream with a bath from a spa. A walk-in you'd never want to walk out of. A pool like the fountain of youth. And a view that never gets old. When buying or selling a home of the highest standards, it's comforting to be represented by a real estate company with standards to match. Coldwell Banker Global Luxury. Live well with Coldwell.
Your favorite local channel is now available for free on your smart TV and connected streaming devices. Watch live programming and catch up with the latest shows on demand. See the local stories that matter to you. NCW Life, now on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV.
I'm Oscar Rodriguez with the Wenatchee World. Joining me today, we have Community Impact Award recipient, East Wenatchee Mayor Jerrilea Crawford. How are you doing today, Mayor Crawford?
I'm great. Thank you so much, and I'm honored to be here.
So just in the beginning, could you tell me a little bit about your background and what sort of steps you took to eventually becoming mayor?
Yeah, my background is I've mostly been involved with nonprofit organizations. I worked at the Wenatchee Valley Chamber of Commerce for a little over 20 years in various capacities, and so very involved in the community. And stayed at home for 9 years to raise my kids, but also did some other nonprofit works through different organizations, and that's prior to me becoming mayor.
Could you tell me a little bit about your interest in politics? Where did that come from, and how did that eventually lead to, running for mayor?
So I've never been interested in politics. So me being mayor is kind of unique in the sense that I didn't set out, I didn't have an ambition to do that necessarily. Because of my work at the chamber and being really involved in the community, it just kind of happened for me that I wanted to extend the work I was doing at the chamber and bettering the community into the role as mayor. So the previous mayor, I knew he wasn't going to be running again. I had a lot of ideas, and I thought, well, I shouldn't be one to just sit back and tell other people my ideas. I can step forward and maybe make some of those changes myself too. So I put myself out there and got elected.
Mm-hmm. So, speaking about that, getting elected, how has the reality of being mayor sort of differed from your expectations before you took the job?
There is so much about elected positions that people don't realize until they get into them. And that was true for me as well. So a lot of surprises and things like liability. Like, you're always thinking about liability. What would the risk be to do this versus this, and what could the potential harm be? So having to think about the community and how to protect the community from liability was something I wasn't necessarily prepared for and ready for. Now I think in those terms all the time. When you think of elected positions, you think of, ribbon cuttings and speaking at festivals and events, and those are all true, and that's the fun part of the job. But there's a part of the job of you have limited resources. What are the best choices to do with those resources, and make the most use out of it for the betterment of the majority of the people in the community? So those are tough decisions that weigh on me all the time. And they're long-term goals. They're not things that I get to see the benefit of tomorrow. I may not get to see the benefit of until the next 2 or 3 mayors come along after me, that I go, oh wow, the plans I put in place for that are finally happening.
Mm-hmm. With a couple years under your belt, could you tell us a little bit about what you view the mayor's role is at the city? Just sort of to help the people get an insight that maybe they don't have, like you said. Yeah, so for mayors, it's different for every city. So in East Wenatchee, I serve as the CEO of the city. So I manage all of the staff. They all report to, the department heads all report to me. I don't set any, mayors don't set legislation. That's the council. I have to carry those out. So if the council sets, for example, a law for speed limits, let's say, in East Wenatchee, I have to make sure that the staff is doing all the things to implement that law and to carry it out. So it's a very hands-on role for the East Wenatchee mayor position, in being very involved in each department and the goals and the expectations that each department has. So it's, looking at street repairs and setting a plan for our street projects. It's working with our police department and setting goals and expectations for the police. HR, everything. Every bit of the city I am really closely connected to. Mm-hmm. Could you tell us a little bit about your proudest accomplishment and what it took to achieve it?
I think the reason I ran for mayor is I saw some needs in the police department that I really wanted to see changed. I wanted a police department that was really connected to the community, where people felt like not only were police there to help in a time of crisis, but they were also there to help celebrate and help make the community feel safer, but make the community feel more engaged and connected. So my first role as mayor was to hire a police chief. We had an opening for a police chief, and so we hired Chief Johnson within the first 6 months that I was there. And we have done so much in the police department to really make it that community organization. We have the police department in.
Mm-hmm. Staying in line with that, we just wrapped up on a year. I was just wondering if anything from 2025, sort of strikes a chord with you about an accomplishment that you'd like to share with the public?
Yeah, 2025 was rough. Finances have been a challenge. Things have just become very, very expensive. Revenues have been down. Unfortunately, we had to make some tough decisions on where to tighten the belt a little bit, and we did. I'm proud of getting a budget passed that does tighten the belt and has very limited effects on the community. What we didn't want to happen was to cut services that made the community suffer in some way. We did have to make some cuts, like we're not purchasing police vehicles or street repair equipment, but we didn't have to cut positions that would impact the community. So we have a balanced budget, which was hard to do. But we have, we didn't impact the community so badly that they're going to feel it and suffer from it. We have some work to do though, and we have a lot that we need to work on in the next couple of years to get services back up. But I'm pretty proud of that for 2025.
And then could you describe your vision for the city of East Wenatchee, and then looking a little more broader with the sort of vision how that might play with Wenatchee, or just the Wenatchee Valley in general, those two, small and then bigger picture?
Yeah, so for my vision for East Wenatchee is obviously sufficiency, being able to sustain our programs and our services, grow them as the community needs, which will mean needing to grow the boundaries of the city. The city hasn't had an annexation in over 25 years, so expanding that boundary really helps the community grow and prosper. So that's a big goal of mine, has been a goal of mine ever since I started. Obviously, it's very challenging. I've been 6 years in and we haven't had that happen yet, but we have some new projects coming up. As far as how East Wenatchee plays with our surrounding community, East Wenatchee relies heavily on the success of our neighbors. We need Douglas County to be successful. We need Rock Island to be successful. We need Wenatchee to be successful. That's how East Wenatchee also benefits. So it's important to me that our relationships with all of those neighboring partners is really strong. We have a great relationship with the city of Wenatchee. So many services that Wenatchee provides, the city of East Wenatchee can't provide them on our own. For example, homeless outreach and homeless services. It's a very expensive role to fill. We could never do it alone. So being able to partner with the city of Wenatchee has helped us greatly. So keeping those relationships strong, and there's many other examples. We have a shared SWAT team with our region. There's a lot that we rely on each other, but we need to keep looking for those opportunities because resources are tight. They're tight for Wenatchee as well. So if we can partner together and do things that way, we'll get more done. So that's my goal, to keep those relationships really strong.
Any last words, parting thoughts that you'd like to share with the public, or anything that you'd like to touch on that you weren't able to communicate via the questions so far?
Yeah, I'm super grateful to be in this role. Like I said earlier, I didn't expect that I would ever be a mayor. It wasn't a goal of mine. I just know that I really love this community and I'm very proud of the community. So being able to be in a position like this to serve, I'm so honored. I'm very grateful. And I am really proud of the community that we have, whether it be East Wenatchee or the entire region. I've been a mayor through COVID, and I've seen our community really pull together and support each other. Even situations like with the recent floods that we've had in Chelan County, I've seen East Wenatchee citizens and East Wenatchee businesses step up and help each other. It's really humbling to be a mayor of a city that is so passionate, and I'm grateful to be in the role I'm in and want to continue doing great work for our community.
Thank you so much for joining me, Mayor Crawford.
Thank you.
Fibercrete fireproof safety rooms can be the difference between life and death for you and your family. Typical fireproof safety rooms are 8x8 fibercrete panels providing a solid sanctuary. Fibercrete safety rooms can be above ground, buried underground, or built within new home construction. Best of all, a safety room by Fibercrete is very affordable. Call 360-770-2088. You owe it to your family to find out more about Fibercrete safety rooms.
Apple Valley Honda is bringing the future of driving to you. Introducing the all-new, all-electric Honda Prologue EV. Say goodbye to gas stations and hello to a whisper-quiet ride and zero emissions. The wait is over. Finally, a local option for a quality EV from a brand with a track record of exceptional quality and reliability. Experience the Honda Prologue EV for yourself at family-owned Apple Valley Honda. Stay close to home and visit us at Apple Valley Honda today for the life you live.
I'm Josey Meats with the Wenatchee World. Joining me today is Community Impact Award recipient Mike Malmin. Mike, how are you today?
Doing great. Things are humming at Serve Wenatchee.
Mike, you're receiving this award for your work with Serve Wenatchee. So just to kind of start things off, when did you come on board at Serve Wenatchee?
I came on board almost 2 years ago. My first day, ironically, was April Fool's Day. And so we got off to a running start in spring 2 years ago.
Serve Wenatchee often acts as a connector, linking people who want to help with people who need help. What does the organization do especially well behind the scenes that the public might not see?
You know, I would invite anyone to come down and look at what we're doing, even at our current temporary location. Because what we do, and it's a core value of ours, is dignity. Most of the people, not all of the people, but most of the people who come to us are authentic, genuine people that just need a little bit of help. And so from the moment they walk in the door, they're greeted by someone, they're treated kindly. If it's their first time in, they receive an interview with one of our intake specialists who isn't just concerned about their physical needs, but also is asking, is there any other ways we can help? We're a Christian organization. Can we pray for you? In our market volunteers are probably my favorite people because when people come in, they're treated so kindly. And I think that when people leave our building, I think they feel loved. It's not a sterile, disconnected environment. It's a deeply personal place where in our system, we're loving because God first loved us, and we feel compelled to show that with others.
My next question was about describe the role of Serve Wenatchee in the Wenatchee Valley, which you did just a bit. You can expand on it if you want, but the kind of second question in that is, what gap does it exist to fill?
Well, it is a part of an ecosystem of multiple food banks and social service providers in our community that do great work. There's really no one organization that can meet all of the needs of people that are facing income challenges in our community. So we're part of that environment. I think what sets us apart as being a little bit unique is our partnerships are very, very broad. And so we have significant corporate partners that work alongside of us, that volunteer for us, are excited for us. We have a large list of church partners that are growing, also serve with us, and individuals, donors and volunteers. And so we're a largely volunteer organization. You know, last year we had close to, between our daily activities and our events, we had literally hundreds of people, 400 or 500 people volunteer for us in a given year, and that's pretty significant. And those are people who have a real passion for the folks and families we're serving.
What is one misconception you encounter about poverty, food insecurity, or need in this region that you wish more people understood?
I think there's two things that come to mind. The first one is this, and I've kind of spoken to it a little bit here, but not everybody that needs food is lazy. Not everybody that needs help with rent is lazy. We have a picture of low-income folks in this community, and oftentimes that vision, that imagery is centered around people living on the streets, in a park, in tents. That is a sliver, a small sliver of the crisis we're dealing with here in the community. Most of low-income issues, vulnerable issues, deal with people who are almost invisible. They're living with an uncle or aunt in grossly overcrowded housing. They're moving, they're what is it, couch surfing. We have young families that just sort of move from location to location, getting whatever assistance they can get to find the next thing. There's no stability. They don't know where the kids are going to go to school. And most of these, many of these folks, and most of the folks we work with are honest people that are just trying to get to the next thing. You know, and so that's one misconception. I guess the other one is this, and this is a harder one, and it's probably a less popular one. For those folks that are living on the streets, you know, there's some anger towards those folks. They're seen as being high crime and whatnot. And, you know, one of the things people ask me is, you know, are you willing to help drug addicts? Are you willing to help those people? And the problem is we have such a problem with mental health, not only in the Wenatchee Valley, but nationwide, especially among low-income folks. Particularly, we have a significant problem with veterans that have fallen on hard times and have some mental health issues sometimes. And then we have people that are addicted. And we have folks in this community, and for lack of a better term, they simply are unemployable. And so the question then becomes, as a community and as a larger society, do we still feed and shelter these folks? And in my belief system, as a Christian, I say yes, we do help them. That's a tough one because I look at, you know, our permanent location is downtown where a lot of the homeless issue, and I occasionally would look out and see some of the crime activity in our neighborhood, and it would inspire anger. At the same time, I think as a society we do have a responsibility. We want to see these folks get better, but they're not going to be able to get better if they're not being fed and sheltered.
Looking ahead, what does progress mean to you for Serve Wenatchee? Both as organizational growth, but as progress for the community itself.
One of the things, you know, I've never worked in this, if you want to call it a sector. I was a pastor for 30 years, and I've never. This is new to me. So I came in sort of with, I don't know if you want to say blinders on, but what I didn't know certainly exceeded what I did know when I came on board. I would like to see in this community, one, I think there needs to be increased partnership between those of us that are doing these things. You know, in our system, we have partnered greatly with some of the other Christian organizations in town. But one of the things is sometimes one organization has an abundance of food and another organization doesn't have enough. And if we could transfer some of that over so that it needs to, we routinely, if we have an overage, give it to a couple of the other organizations in town. There's a couple of other organizations in town that will call us and say, do you need some extra protein? We've got an extra shipment of protein in and we'll take it. I'd like to see that increase. For Serve Wenatchee, we are limited right now by a number of things that I don't think need to be limitations for us. We need to be able to process more people through our Fresh Hope Market if demand increases. And so I think the challenge organizationally for us in 2026 is to find a way to prepare to increase for capacity. And that's largely dependent on fundraising and also dependent on physical space. Our market right now is quite small, and so we need to be able to find a way creatively to facilitate, whether through expanded hours or other things, facilitate more people coming through, because we do say no, and we have limited spots for folks to come through every week. And so if there are people who are authentically in need, we want to find expanded ways to help those. People don't realize that everyone that comes to Serve Wenatchee is interviewed. We ask them a whole bunch of things just to see how we can help them. But in terms of how we figure out how to help them, it's based on an algorithm, and it's based on their household size and household income. And people that meet that criteria for us, we help. But we're not helping all that we can, because there's far more people that we could help in that criteria that we're not currently able to help simply because of some of the financial and physical constraints we have on us.
For anyone hearing what is being said today or reading what is being said today, who from that feels compelled to help but is unsure where to start, what is the most meaningful first steps they can take with Serve Wenatchee?
Well, I think that the easiest place to start is at one of our 4 events. Now, the challenge is our 4 major events take place at the end of the year: August, October, November, December. But those are great entry points because anyone can do it. They come in, we help find a place for them to serve in those events that fits their particular skill set. It's a really good opportunity in one kind of consolidated time frame to get a real good image of everything that Serve Wenatchee does. But the other thing you can do is we're regularly looking for regular volunteers. We're trying to build our volunteer team, and there's a couple ways that folks can go about serving with us. One is simply to call our office and ask to talk to our operations manager, and the other is you can just hop right on our webpage and says there's a click volunteer, and you can fill out a little form that we'll get in contact with you and find a place. I'd also say we're not opposed to people just stopping by and taking a look at what we're doing. Multiple times a month, somebody will come in and go, "I've heard about you, what do you do?" Let's give them a tour of what we're doing and show them what we're doing. They get to see kind of what's going on. And overwhelmingly, those folks that come in say, "Okay, what can I do now? How can I help?" So seeing what we are doing will make you a believer pretty quickly.
Thanks for joining me today, Mike.
It's good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for tuning in. I'm Josey Meats with the Wenatchee World.
Our community is full of people doing incredible work. Join us for the Community Impact Awards, an inspiring evening honoring the people, organizations, and businesses whose leadership and service make our community stronger. It's on Thursday, February 26th at the Pybus Local-Tel Event Center in Wenatchee. There'll be light appetizers and beverages. The award ceremony itself begins at 5:30. Come connect, celebrate, and support the positive impact happening all around us. Reserve your tickets today.
You build more than projects. You build what communities rely on. When the job site runs on results, put Kubota to work. Backed by expert service and support from your local Kubota dealer. Right now, bring home select Kubota KX Series with 0% financing available or save up to $4,800.
Things have improved a lot in the mountain passes just in the 1 hour of this show has been on the air, with the exception of Stevens Pass. Still snowing to beat the band up there. It's still a chain requirement on US 2. I just looked at the cameras. You can barely even make out the highway. But things are a lot easier now on Blewett and on 90. An hour ago, Snoqualmie Pass had a chain requirement. Now there's no requirements at all. It's stopped snowing. The roadways are a tad slushy, but things are a lot better there. Blue Pass has a traction tire advisory, but I'm looking at the camera right now. It looks pretty good to me. And that pattern is going to repeat itself. In fact, the weather is going to repeat itself tomorrow, pretty much like we had today. So the rest of the day today, whatever precipitation we get, going to come down in the form of rain. Not a lot of rain, but some light rain, because we're going to be above the snow level. We're going to be below the snow level, I should say. We'll be below that. So rain today, and a high of about 44. Rain snow mix early Tuesday morning is possible. Overnight low about 33. Could wake up to some snow, then a rain snow mix. Then it switches over to rain. The snow level on Tuesday, by the way, will be 1,900 feet. But then the system that's coming in tomorrow is going to kind of run out of goop. So only about a 50% chance of precipitation on Tuesday. That goes down to about a 40% chance on Tuesday night. Again, a little bit of an early morning Tuesday night, Wednesday morning rain snow mix before it gives way to sunshine Wednesday and a high of 45. Sun and clouds together on Thursday with a high of 48. That's above normal. Quite a bit of sunshine on Friday and a high of 46. Sunshine with slightly cooler than normal temperatures on Saturday and Sunday. So snow in the upper elevations, rain in the lower elevations today and tomorrow, and then the weather gets pretty benign. And that's it for us. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great Monday. Bye-bye.